Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. I'm Aram Talegian, joined in the middle by Steve Ramirez, and on the far side, special guest Tarek Fatal, in from the LA Daily News.
He's got his guest tag on.
Yes, and behind the camera, Fred J. Robledo. We were talking the Mid-Valley Division, and that's why we have Tarek here, because we talked about this last week. Some of these teams, it seems like all the favorites, we don't know much about because they're in the divisions, or excuse me, they're in the leagues that aren't local to us. And that would be Sierra Canyon, this juggernaut up at the very top, the #1 seed. They're playing Sure, the quasi-upset winner over Baldwin Park last week. Tarek, you've seen Sierra Canyon.
I have.
Are they this powerhouse? Because everyone's talking like, wow, this team's like the next one that in a few years is going to be in the Pac-5.
I tell you what, that program is trying to be the next big thing, and I think they got a lot of talent. They got a coaching staff that really is trying to be the next power, especially in the San Fernando Valley. There's parents, coaches, and those athletes think they can compete with guys like they think they should be in the Mission League with like Crespi, Bishop, Notre Dame. They really think that.
How do you think they would do with those teams?
I tell you what, the top half they would struggle, but guys like Notre Dame. Let's just go off this year. So we're talking Notre Dame didn't have the best year. Crespi didn't have the best year. Chaminade, okay, a couple athletes I got them by throughout the season. Sierra Canyon has some athletes too. Their running back Bobby Cole's only a junior, stud. They got a quarterback, Shulock is his last name. Very, very good. I think they're the real deal, to answer your question.
Aaron, this is like when Oaks Christian was in Division 10 10 years ago.
It's exactly what
Covinas and things like that.
That's exactly what it's
For
like.
sure. I mean, the Baldwin Park Sure game last week, 27-26 thriller. You get the right to play Sierra Canyon.
Yeah, but, you know, Sure's season is kind of made by that, you know? I mean, they're the only Almont team left. I mean, you know, they're kind of one of the few, I think everyone's kind of talked about this. This is the Gold Coast League, the Valle Vista League, and Sure. That's like basically what's left. And, you know, you look at Sierra Canyon, Freddie, what's their closest game this year? I mean, it's kind of like looking at San Marino, what, 25 points? I mean, you know, if that, I mean, this is just, boy.
Paraclete.
Sure's in a lot of trouble.
Paraclete, usually the juggernaut in this division.
Well, I tell you what.
They handled them pretty well. Were you at that game? Or did you see
I was not, but I tell you what, I know that what they did with that division is because Paraclete and Sierra Canyon are so top-heavy, they actually split it into two, so that there would almost be like a conference championship every year.
Divisions,
right? And I think that was a large reason why they did that, because it would just be those same two teams every year. And so instead of all those other teams having to play Paraclete and Sierra Canyon twice every season,
well, it was smart. They got 4 teams in the playoffs instead of the guaranteed.
There you go.
Two.
It ended up.
You know, everyone should split up their leagues, Aram, into 3s and 4s to get more playoff
but
teams.
to your point, Aram, Sierra Canyon, I know you're looking at their score, their deficit, and how much they win by every week. Yeah. They would be like a perfect candidate in college football right now, like where they wouldn't be in the playoff because of their schedule strength. So, but they are good, and I think they're the real deal. I
hate to tell you, their schedule strength isn't going to take a bump either this week against Sure.
No.
They're in the semifinals. We can move them on.
Yeah.
Hang tough there. We're going to come back and talk Viewpoint, Covina in a second. But Aram, Steve, we've got a really, really good second-round game. The winner of Sierra Canyon, the team that's going to win, is going to play the winner of this next game, Pomona at Northview. Pomona, the defending champions, kind of been under the radar all year. 40-33 winner over Brentwood, the only Gold Coast team that lost, and Northview, an easy 48-17 winner over Rosemead. Aaron?
Yeah, just one thing real quick, back to the Sure Sierra Canyon game. That game's at Montebello High School. Don't go to Sure, go to Montebello High School.
It's a 7:30 start as of right now.
Okay, right. And then this Northview Pomona game, Covina District Field, 7 o'clock.
Right.
Stevie, was Pomona the team that knocked Northview out last year?
No, that's Paraclete.
Okay, all right.
Paraclete.
Okay, I was wondering about that angle. I mean, look, these are, I mean, you know, I know Sierra, okay, let's take Sierra Canyon away from this and the other teams that we really haven't seen here. As far as non-Gold Coast teams, these are the best 2 skill position teams in this division. Northview, absolutely loaded, quarterback, running back, receivers, loaded. Pomona, we know they're full of skill guys. Darian Lockett, you know, the headliner there. This is going to be a shootout. I mean, it's very clear to see this is going to be a shootout. I don't know, Stevie. I mean, who's going to make the stop?
That's a very tough question. Both offenses are really good. Northview, like I said earlier in the year, was in a shootout with Montebello where they couldn't make a stop. And Pomona has played a decent schedule for their talent level. The thing that no one has talked a lot about Pomona this year.
It's because they're in the Miramonte League.
No,
I mean it's true. I mean they're in the Miramonte League.
But they're the defending champs. They have a pretty strong. They've had a pretty strong nucleus back. I think because Montebello played so well during the regular year, and they beat Northview, and Northview has played really well.
Yeah,
that's where in this area.
They both went in as
well. Look at Pomona. You have their schedule up, Aram.
Yeah.
Who are their losses to early? They're pretty good teams.
Yeah, they were. Lost to Oak Hills,
right?
Which is a good upper division team, and then lost to Villa Park, which is 11-0 right now.
Right.
Yeah. So
Pomona to me, and the reason, Steve, it's like that. Some people just look at the wins and losses and they think they're struggling, not realizing who they're playing. It's the same thing with Colony in the Central Division, a team who played all these Pac-5s. And they don't have a sexy record, but they're a good team, defending champion.
Best win over Don Lugo, which is as we know playing San Marino.
Pomona played those games to get ready for the Mid Valley Division. They're still one of the best teams in the Mid Valley Division.
Right.
The question is Northview ready for this?
But here's the thing, Freddie. They opened the playoffs last week against Brentwood, one of the teams from our buddies over in the Gold Coast, and they only win the game by 7, and that's a 40-33 game. Now, maybe Brentwood and on all these Gold Coast teams, maybe they're just that legit. I don't know. Why is that game
see Brentwood
close?
at all?
I did. I saw Cedar Canyon travel to Brentwood, and Brentwood gave them a game.
Wow.
They're
there's that.
They're physical, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm probably going to get this wrong. The Brentwood quarterback is a transfer from Oaks Christian.
Wow.
They have like a stable of quarterbacks, and he kind of just figured, I'm a sophomore or a junior. He transferred there like a season ago and thought, all right, I'm not going to get any playing time. I'm a senior. So I think this is his second year there, or maybe even his first year there. But he transferred, and they just became a squad. He's about a 6'4".
They're 4 deep, Aram. That league that's a big win for Pomona.
They're the best 4 teams in the division.
That's a big win for Pomona.
They saw Pomona and Northview are playing
I can tell you right now, both of these coaching staffs wanted this game. Northview really wanted that shot at Pomona. Pomona, we've been talking about Northview so much this year. I've heard from they wanted this game too. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to one of those games. I think it's the best.
Has it a 1-point game.
Yeah, I think it's the best matchup in the division, and I got Northview winning the game close.
Yeah, the one thing about Pomona, the one score that kind of shocks me is when they had the rally to beat Cal, and Cal just won 2 games, and Cal was a one-dimensional team, and they were able to
beat them 43-41.
Yeah. Who you guys got?
Northview.
I
don't think it's that close, really.
I think it's close. I think it's a real close game.
I think they have that triplets type of offense where they have the 2 good running backs, they have the receivers, they have the quarterback who can make plays with his legs and he can throw. And I just don't see Pomona being able to stop that. They haven't been able to stop teams all year, or at least slow them down.
Right.
And I just don't think they can.
All right. Moving on. We both got Northview, Sierra Canyon in the semifinals.
Here we go. And this is why. Viewpoint.
This is the shocker of the first round to me.
Viewpoint is going to play Covina at West Covina High School, everybody, at 7 o'clock. Make note of that if you're going out to that game. Last week, like Freddie said, the shocker of, we knew Montebello, was missing its best player, but 49-0 Viewpoint puts a whipping on Montebello last week. Wow. How good is this Viewpoint team, man?
The only time I saw Viewpoint was against Sierra Canyon, and it was quite a bit of it was a shellacking.
Did you go to Sierra Canyon?
I did not, but I did see 3 of their games this year. Viewpoint, I tell you what, they have a kind of like a spread offense, and it doesn't surprise me that they scored a lot of points.
Right.
I don't know if in the write-up it says that, but they're kind of just like one quarterback in the backfield by himself and like 5 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, and they're just up tempo and they just go. So it doesn't surprise me the 49. The 0 surprises me.
Right.
And I know you mentioned they had an athlete out.
But
they're very good. They're very good, and they can compete. That's what's important.
I looked at that score, Aram, last week, and my first thought was Covina's done. Their little fairy tale or whatever you thought they were going to do is over.
Yeah. You changed your mind?
I'm changing my mind. There's no way that they're going to beat. They're not going to beat Viewpoint now.
Okay, so you haven't changed your mind.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, when we saw this bracket come out, we thought, Arroyo and Covina, man, they both got to be happy. They're playing a team in the first round and each other who they could definitely beat. Covina got that win. And in the second round, they're going to get Montebello, which is a wounded duck, so to speak, without Mendebliz. But that all got thrown, by something, because you might be playing the number 3 team in the division now.
Yeah.
It's looking like Viewpoint's the number 3 team in the division right now.
I think we were looking at it. We were thinking we knew Sierra Canyon and Paraclete were
that's
the
1 and 2,
but I don't think we figured their 2 at-largers were going to be this good.
Yeah.
And you got to like Viewpoint moving on in this game.
Boy, I guess
I've got Viewpoint. That win last week is just really impressive, and Covina's had a nice run, but I can't see them.
Yeah. Colts are going to really need to be on their A game in this spot. And then finally, the last game in the bracket at least, San Dimas going to Antelope Valley College to play Paraclete. That's at 7 o'clock. Tarek, Paraclete's on this other side of the Gold Coast.
Right.
You haven't seen them, but, I don't think you've seen them, right?
I have not seen them, but I do know that there was... I don't know. I think the score when they played Sierra Canyon was much larger than how close the game actually was, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so
48-34 for
Sierra
Canyon.
That's not that... Okay, so then you know what? That's not that bad. I know Sierra Canyon's a good football team, guys. They are. When I say they should play in the Mission League, I know that's very opinionated and it seems a bit ambitious, but... That school in general, all their sports.
Yeah, I know.
It's honestly just a matter of time.
It is.
And so I know they were thinking a little like, okay, we should own the San Fernando Valley now, but it'll just be a matter of time. And so for Paraclete to give them a game, that probably means that Paraclete's quite good.
I tell you what, have any of you guys besides Tarek covered a Sierra Canyon game in any other sport?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I covered their baseball game against Pasadena Poly a couple years ago. It's like one of these things where they take sports so seriously. They have like an SID type guy.
I was just gonna say they have a sports information director.
Anything you need about the game and any player you want, he goes and gets and any
he comes out to you and goes, "Hey man, who do you need?"
Right.
And
I mean they're trying to build kind of like Maranatha through sports. And it's working.
It's working.
Yeah, it's really, and they're good.
Not to mention their basketball team is like the best.
That's all I keep hearing right now is how good they are in boys hoops too. So you're talking about, I don't know where this school was. Was it even open 10 years ago?
No, it's literally like an 8-year-old school, 9-year-old school. Yeah.
And probably in another 5 years, if this upward mobility.
It's going to be Centennial, St. John Bosco, and Sierra Canyon.
Because of the new playoff format, these guys are going to surge right up all the divisions. Anyways, can San Dimas go to Paraclete and win this game? This is a really tall order for the Saints. They've looked good since the Northview loss, but Paraclete is such a different animal. I don't know. I think this game's tough. I think San Dimas.
What's the Cal Prep? What's Cal Prep say?
You never run out of eye on that, Freddie. 34-28, Paraclete.
Yeah.
I'm
going to probably stick with my upset homer pick here and stay with San Dimas. I had them at the beginning. I just thought they were playing so well at the end of the season. The way they beat Covina and the way they close it.
Right.
I think it took Coach Holman much of the year to really feel comfortable with his offense. And defensively, they've been playing so great. We don't see Paraclete out here, so it's impossible to know. But I'm going to go with San Dimas in an upset and get to the semifinals.
Okay, I'm picking Paraclete.
This Gold Coast League can't win everything.
I got Paraclete by double digits. I know the prediction on Cal Preps is a little closer, but I got them by double digits. Stevie?
I have Paraclete, but I think it's going to be a close game. San Dimas is not afraid of Paraclete. They play them almost every year in the playoffs, and they take turns beating each other.
Right.
The last time they played, San Dimas won in the championship game, I believe.
2013.
Right.
Yeah, it's Paraclete's turn to win, and they got a really good running back who I believe is, or maybe he just decommitted to go to USC. I can't remember. But they have a really good football team, and I think it's going to be a close game. But I think playing on their home. They play on Valley College.
I bet you all are glad you're not covering that game this week.
I thought Stevie was.
No.
Gets pretty cold over there down at Valley College.
I only go up there for the championship game.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think they're going to win a close game.
Right. Okay. Well, hey, get out to one of these games, everybody. I mean, this is a really interesting mix of teams, and we'll see just what the Gold Coast has in store for everyone this week. I don't know. I think that's probably it, boys.
I got nothing
else. All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
I'm just proud of my
Thanks for joining us
today. Yeah,
they slapped this on me right when I came in. I had to get through all the paparazzi and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Tarek, and clearing the air as far as these Gold Coast teams that we're just like shaking our head at. How can there be two juggernauts in Calabasas, Viewpoint and Calabasas, and right next door, I guess, in Chatsworth, there's Sierra Canyon.
Yep.
I mean, what's going on up there talent-wise?
Yeah. Maybe Sierra Canyon will be in the open division next year, Aaron, which would be your wish.
It wouldn't surprise me. I tell you what,